We are live. I was going to say hey, and I said he. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? This is Jan here coming at you once again, live right before July 4th. It is summertime. We're 6 months in of the year, actually a little over at this point. This is July 3rd, but happy that you are here, that you're taking a listen. This is a quick broadcast today. Lots going on, wrapping up for actually more work, but also a little break in between all. Hope you're doing the same. Got to take a break, got to get out of the office, got to get out of your online life, and hey, enjoy family and friends. Super important, of course. And today, we're going to be talking about how to get started with my life in advertising, or your life in advertising, by reading My Life in Advertising. And we're going to talk about that today. And simply, if you're watching, you're going to see a screenshot. Actually, it's live from Amazon. And it's a compendium, essentially two works by Mr. Claude C. Hopkins. And it is basically a must read for advertisers and marketers, both business owners, entrepreneurs, etc. Want to learn about how to get into advertising at a much deeper level than just throwing up a simple 15-second video and some text, even though that of course can be very profitable and work very well for you on Facebook, using Facebook ads, for example. But I think this says it all here. This is Mr. David Ogilvy. Nobody should be allowed to have anything to do with advertising until he or she has read this book, Scientific Advertising. 7 times it changed the course of my life. Now, David Ogilvy is no slouch in this space by any means. The fact that this is the precursor to the book says it all. And what we're looking at is the compendium, as I said, My Life in Advertising and Scientific Advertising. And if you want to get started and really ramping up your skill sets and your experience and your conversations in this market, or for your markets using advertising, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Twitter, Quora, Google, as I mentioned, both search-driven, intent-driven search advertising, as well as Google Display, Google Shopping. You are perhaps looking at, hey, how do I best present my wares on YouTube? You can do this with pre-roll and in-stream video ads as well. And I mean, it all ties back to advertising and copywriting, presenting your messages at the right time, at the right medium, right platform in our case. And that includes print, radio, TV as well. We don't do much with that at the agency. And by the way, this is a quick sort of pitch for that. Basically, if you head over to chaosmap.com, that's the agency. I'm the founder and creative director there, chaosmap.com. You can learn more, but essentially having technical and strategic advantages is going to be very helpful for you, obviously, but understanding the foundations and really the human mind, the psychology behind this, it's going to be very important. And so starting with these two works, you can buy them right there on Facebook. That's what we're seeing. And I'm including the couple of links here in the show notes to get started with this. And also, this is a good read to have bedside and to have office side, if you will, desk side, to reference it. It's a bit heavier read than some of these other books that I've called out, like Tested Advertising Methods by Jon Caples. But definitely do not skip it. Read it once, read it twice, read it 7 times, according to David Ogilvy. And I agree. This is a must read, must do, must have. And also, if you want to talk more about this, you can certainly head out to my calendar. If you choose to reach out to me directly, that's just basically my name, JONROGNERUD.com/calendar. Okay, so why do you really need to read, right? I mean, a lot of folks feel like, hey, it's good to have some theory and some, basic background, but really just dig in. Don't overanalyze this, start writing some ads, start getting results. And you can do that. But just like doing anything is based on a combination of actually doing it, so the actions that you take, as well as based on, of course, theory and understanding of the market. We've heard about the 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything, right? Well, how do you start? How do you get your life going with advertising? Well, certainly reaching out to books and resources. There's a lot online, just to be very clear. That's the understatement of the century, probably, of the decade, at least in the internet terms. But you need to have a backbone in terms of understanding. That also includes mentors. We do a lot of training and coaching as well. And that's what I also like to do, because frankly, I'm pulling from years in the experience that I've had, and a lot of, frankly, failures. People like to share successes and things they have done online. Of course, that's what we like to include in testimonials and stuff. Nobody wants to say, hey, that was a great project, great to work with the team, but everything sucked. No results. No, we want to showcase positivity, and we want to showcase results. Who wants to read about, no results, right? However, the truth is, so many of those hyped up messages that you see online is based on exactly that. 10 failures to 1 success, 10 failures to, 20 failures to 2 successes, right? It's basically a lot of trial and error testing, back and forth. Any new campaigns that you spend a lot of time on, that you're launching, that fails out the gate, that confuses the heck out of everybody. Well, that's going to happen. Hopefully less of those as the years go by, as you learn more. But certainly having these insights is key. So I wanted to just share that this morning with you, and before July 4th, because if you have some time, pick up a couple of these books, and certainly Claude Hopkins here is going to be a great asset to your library that you can store either digitally or on your bookshelf at home. So, and one of the things that sometimes comes up, not too often, but I should mention this, it's an older book. This was basically, I think back in the early 20s, 30s, 40s, there's many iterations, but, basically it started with some of these original advertising agencies, and it's been updated and republished and updated, republished. It is very appropriate to current day. And that's really the point that I was trying to make. We get questions about this may not be as appropriate today as it was then. Well, it absolutely is, because human nature and the human mind not changed much. We talk about the hopes, the dreams, the fears, aspirational messages, all of these things that we try and capture inside our copywriting and inside our messaging still speaks to the human mind. And that's why also I find this very intriguing, this market that I am in terms of creating traffic and leads and sales. We're all dealing with messages, and of course we get enough of those daily. But if you have segmented it right to an audience that is willing and able to receive that, and you have something that is truly transformational in the products and services, you really got something. And that's what we try to do, and that's what you should try to do in terms of making a difference and also stand out. We talk about pattern interrupts. Okay. Well, is that something that you need to do every time? Well, maybe you do at the top level of your traffic, right? So we call that cold traffic. That pattern interrupt may not be as distinct further down the funnel in the customer journey. So if you're bottom of funnel, meaning you already have buyers that know, like, and trust you, you don't have to do as much, right? The hard work has been done, so to speak, but you still have to work for your sales funnel, your marketing funnel, everything that you do, whether it's purely digital online or a combination of online, offline, and, appointment setting with the sales team, right? All of this has to be scrutinized and really mapped out for success. But if you want to start with really upping your game here, hiring agencies and hiring experts and mentors and trainers, teachers, coaches, etc., definitely a good step in the right direction. But there's nothing like having an educated client, customer that knows and understands the concepts, at least from a purely sort of theoretical standpoint, and then watching that being applied into the actual tactical elements and the things that we do. If you want to learn more, of course, you can head on out to chaosmap.com, chaosmap.com, or you can reach out to me directly. Just hit up my name /calendar. We'll set up a time to speak and see if we have some synergies and maybe opportunities to help you. So, hey, with that, just want to say enjoy your Independence Day and the week here. It's a short business week. May the 4th be with you, as they would say. And I want you to grow and expand your life and business this year. We have 6 more months of the year. And we are working on some exciting new programs as well. We are also available to chat with you about some of the things that you're doing, no charge. And you can do that by going out to chaosmap.com, as I mentioned. And hey, love doing these for you. If you have any questions or if you have any specific topics you'd like to cover, certainly can jump on that. And we also are lining up a whole series of new interviews for the fall. So we're going to take a little break over the summer here. You'll see a little bit sort of interspersed here in terms of not being every day. That's intentional. So please subscribe and share as you are. And also love those reviews coming in on the Media and Marketing Podcast on iTunes. And I really appreciate you once again for being here. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for being you. Thank you for stepping on the gas pedal for the next 6 months so that you can make a real difference to yourself, your family, your community, and your customers and clients, of course. All right. Well, with that, I want to thank you. And hey, if we talk soon, would love it. If we don't, I hope that we can continue to converse here online and that you stay with us and with me here. There's a lot more going on. And hey, have a great, great summer. Cheers.